All right, guys, how's it going? So here is the how to journal a trade or how I journal a trade. I got a lot of messages on how I do this, so figured I'd make a quick video instead of explaining it every single time on the live stream. So you go to Trading View to get to your charts. We'll open up, we'll look at GJ. This thing, let me make sure this thing is sharing. All right. So go to Trading View, and we're gonna say we took a trade on GJ. So you're going to go to your long and short position. Your long one will be for buys, your short one for sells. So then you know what your trade looks at. So the placement of these, whenever I'm walking through it with my students, the placement is super important. So we're going to enter after, we'll say after this bearish candle close at the new low. So you're going to place it on the candle you entered on. So, and then you can make it a little smaller so it looks good. But we entered on this candle, so we placed this on this candle, so it's going to cover this one halfway. And then the placement of this middle area, since we're going to enter when a new low is created, you're going to place it below there, and then we'll set our stop loss on the previous candle. And this is just a hypothetical trade, not a trade I'm recommending you to take, just for visual purposes of how to journal. We'll say we're going to target this wick fill down here because of some resistance down here. So that'll be the trade. So the placement of this goes on the candle and at the area in which you're entering. So if someone sent this chart to me, one of my students, for example, I know that they entered on this candle once it broke below this candle. So the placement of this, for the way I like to do it, is super important. So then when they send this chart, I don't have to message them back and say, good trade, where did you enter? Did you enter at a new high, a new low? This placement alone tells me if they followed that new high or new low rule. So that's important. And then for the text callouts that you always see on the live stream, you click this little text T right here, go to callout, and then we're going to say I like to number it so it keeps it organized. We'll say we got resistance formed at previous resistance. Spell that wrong? Maybe. Okay. So we got that. And I like to very OCD on the how the chart layout looks. So we got to make it look pretty. So we got resistance there, and then we'll say price made a new low for our second one. A new low. If I can spell. So price made a new low, and that's where we will clarify. Entry at new low. So now we know what we're looking at. Got a quick little summary. And then we'll just write down the target. Obviously, it's where the take profit is, but always good to have it labeled up. Targeting. So we got our little chart. We got it all mapped out. We got the placement correct. So what we're going to do is click on this little camera up here, take a snapshot, and save image. Don't want to press copy because then you kind of lose your chart. And if Trello, where we're going to do the journaling, ever collapsed, you might want to have these saved on your computer. So I would just click Save As, and then you right click, Save Image As, and then I have you can see, Trello trading journal charts. So I have all of my charts right here. I would recommend you making a folder to have that. So like I said, if Trello ever collapsed, you can always just re-upload this to your new journaling thing. Or if your Trello account got lost, you can always just restart, and you still have all these for looking back on to learn from. So I don't want to put this in my folder, so I'm just going to put this just on the desktop. We'll just say YouTube example. Now I know what it is, and then it's saved on your computer. Got that done. You can close this down. You can pretty much clear this off if you wanted to, but the next step, go to Trello.com, and once you get signed in, you make an account, it's going to make you kind of set up a pre-chart. You'll actually be able to skip through most of that. You just click on the little dots on the left, and then it'll bring you to this screen after you're signed in. If not, just click on this little home button and that will bring you here. If you're new, you're not gonna have these because I already have my trading journal, obviously. So you're gonna click create new board. We'll say we're gonna make it red and then trading. So you know what board it is if you have multiple. Create board. You can just close this down. And then sometimes when you pop this up, it actually adds a bunch of these little lists here. So if you want to get rid of those, you just click this X and then these three bubbles right here. Click that, click archive, archive, archive. Now you got a fresh board. So the way I do this is I group these by the week. So we'll just pull up mine real quick. So as you can see, we have the 6th to the 7th. So this is when I started it. And then we have 9th to the 14th, 16th to the 21st. So you're going to group it by the week and then by the day. So then we have the 16th, should have been the first day of that week, 17th, 2nd, and then the last day, the 21st. So to do that, add list, we're going to do this week, for example. So we'll say we'll say April. And technically, if it weren't for the holiday, we would have started trading yesterday. So 12 to, let me pull up my calendar. 12th to the 17th would be this trading week. So then you click add list. You can just minimize that. So now you have your week. You're going to go to add card. We're going to say that trade we marked up over here on GJ was our New York trade, and we're going to just pretend that it played out and went to take profit. So we're going to type in today's date. So I always do, we'll go 4/12/20. Oh, that's a money sign. 4/12/20. So we got the date. That's important, so you know what day you took the trade on, because each day can kind of be different. So your Mondays could kind of all show the same thing. Your Tuesdays, Wednesdays, so on and so forth. And then you're going to want another session. So if you're like me, you trade New York and Asian. This was your New York session trade. So you type NY. And then you're going to want to know what pair you traded. So GJ. And we're going to say we took sells. So you have all this basic information, the day, the session, the pair, which direction. So when you're reviewing this, like here, this day, Asian, GA sells, entry break of 15. You can just take a quick glance. All right, you know what you did. You don't have to even open this up if you're just trying to do a quick little summary of how your week went. So that's there. And then the last bit I like to add is a super quick summary of the trade. So we're going to say click entry at new low. So then when you're looking at this, you got a real quick idea on what your like last confirmation was. So now you're going to, real quick, if you want to change this, if you mess up, this little pencil, you click on the pencil and that will let you edit this. But to go to where we're going, all you have to do is see how the card highlights. Just click on the card. And now we won the trade. So you're going to click on the labels and green because you won. You can color code it however you want. Just make sure it's always the same. And this took me a minute to figure out. So I always tell people, if you click on a different color, it doesn't change the color. It just adds it. So to get rid of it, you just click it again. So we won that trade. Next thing, attachment right here. You're going to go to computer at the top. And then you're going to open up that trading folder you made. For me, I just put it on my desktop. So then you click on that. And it adds your chart right there. Click off of it. And that is all you do for that. And as the next day comes, you click add another card. You'll go for 13/20. And then you'll add in your session, your pair, buy, sell, super quick summary. And then you'll just keep doing that for the week. Once next week comes, you click add another list and you'll have another set of cards there. So then eventually, once you get started, it'll there's a week and you put all your charts in there. Next week, you'll start a new one, put all your charts in there. And then, so we can just get rid of that. If you want to add more information to this, you just click on the card. You can add more images. All you do is drag and drop them on here, or just go to attachment again, computer, and then you can add more charts. So let's say this was the trade you took but you want to add like a 4-hour time frame to show your bias, if you know how I do my biases, or anything like that, just to add extra information. And since we entered just a super quick summary here, if you lost the trade and you want to analyze how to have taken the correct trade, I would suggest just adding that into here, because then it doesn't show up on here and then clutter all of this. So if we look at mine, you can see everything's kind of short and sweet for the most part. It's not very cluttered, but you can see these two, there's a lot more information here. If there were more charts here, it would just look more cluttered, in my opinion. So I try to just keep it short and sweet. And that is basically exactly how you use this. If you want to change the color, I believe you can click show menu, yep, and then change background. You can pick the color, a photo, custom, whatever you want to do. So that's how you use Trello, how you set up and input your charts. And then the cool thing about it, the reason I like to keep it so simple and clean, I did this on a live stream, but I'm gonna do this for the video for just another example if you weren't on the live stream on that day. You look at how my week started. This was last week. Took a loss, took a loss, took a loss, took a loss. So I started my week 0-4. So like it just in my head, I was like, why did that happen? Like I ended the week so good. Why am I just going 0-4? That doesn't make any sense. So then I just pull up this Trello, look at last week. What did I do Sunday, Monday last week? I traded GJ, 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 GJ. And then there were some UJ wins, which is why I was trading it this week. But as you can see, most of the wins, there's a loss that's from UJ. There's a win, UJ, UJ, but most of the wins are from GJ. And then I look here and I see UJ loss, UJ loss. So maybe I just need to stick to GJ. And we just did all that analysis in less than a minute to figure out real quick what was the issue. Didn't have to do anything. All you had to do was go to your journal, and you can just, by looking at it, you can figure out simple mistakes like that. So as you can see, I lost 4 times in a row on UJ. I switched to GJ, win, 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 loss, win. So as you can see, if I would have started with GJ, there's a much better chance I would have had a way, way better week than I did. So just simple things like that to look over. That is all for the how to journal, how I journal, how I have my, how I encourage my students to do their journaling. And if you have any messages or questions, you can always message me on here. On Instagram, you can always message me on here, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys for coming, and I will see you on the live stream.